Welcome to Real Talk with Donna Valdes, where we dive deep into the stories of resilience, triumph, and hope from some of the most inspiring entrepreneurs, women in business, and leaders from all walks of life. Well, hello, welcome to Real Talk with Donna Valdes. That's me, where we deep dive into the stories of resilience, triumph, and hope with some of the most inspiring entrepreneurs, women in business, and leaders from all walks of life. I am your host, Donna Valdes. That sounds so arrogant. Real talk with me. I am thrilled to have you join me on this journey of discovery, inspiration. And today we have a really cool special guest, Amanda, who I got to meet a couple months ago. Goodness, yeah, a couple months ago. We clicked. I just I just dig real people, the no BS real people. And she was one of them. We connected right away. We were at an event, and ever since then, it's like, you know what you're going to get with her. And I was like, you got to come and share your story, because that's what people miss. I think sometimes we're so like, I call it baffled with bullshit, where people are like, the shiny object. They got to make sure everything is perfect before they do anything. Amanda's the real deal. And I just really appreciate her. She is married. And here's a fun fact: you have the same birthday as my daughter, March 12th, which is amazing.
I see.
I think it's going to be amazing. So today we're going to talk. I want people to get to know who you are. I want them to hear your heart. I want to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly in being a woman in business, being married, and trying to juggle all the things, and just have this real one-on-one conversation. You cool?
I am cool.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being here. I'm so excited. So tell the world, who is Amanda? How would you want me to introduce you?
Let's see. Amanda is on fire at the gym, weirdly obsessed with my chickens, and really a no beating around the bush BSer, bullshitter. Can I say that on here? I show up as me, and it's one of those things that you either like it or you leave it. I mean, there really is no gray area with me.
Now, when you decided, have you always been entrepreneurial, or is that something you just kind of did out of necessity?
No, I got burned really, really bad by that crazy rap thing, people. They had good intentions, I think, but I felt like they took advantage of me because I was really young and also dumb. I was 18, so I dabbled in it and I got burned really bad. Wasn't getting success, was kind of BSing my way through just the motions, right? And that was cool, but at the same time, I was really passionate about my job. I liked what I did. I worked with really, really cool people in corporate America. I wasn't as passionate about it, and that might have been my fault. It might have just been a bad time. But since then, no. I mean, I got laid off in August of last year. I was making close to six figures. And as someone who is almost 30, ready to be 30, by the way, as someone who's almost 30, that was a really, really, really big accomplishment for me. But it was also like very hard and unexpected because I've never been fired from a job. I've never been let go from a job. Not boasting, but I've not really got in trouble at most of my jobs, like I've had the tough conversations, but not to the point where my job was on the line. So it was very unexpected, and it mentally and emotionally set me back a lot further than I really thought it would. I was really suicidal in 2018. I didn't want to live. I didn't have a purpose for life, really. Quite frankly, I just didn't care. And I had some really dark thoughts coming back. So I knew from then that the company that I was with, well, I don't even know if I want to claim that I was with them, but I was dabbling in another company at that time. And I was like, well, this community of people is not lifting me up. They're just trying to be like, just run with it, but they're not trying to figure out like what sets Amanda on fire. So I started looking. Long story short, I got a diagnosis that my dog was dying quickly. I didn't believe it. I did all the things, did all the holistic approaches, and then I lost her in April. And so looking back, I'm like, God, was that you giving me time with like my baby? Like she shaped me, which y'all are going to think I'm crazy if you're not dog people, but she really shaped me into the person I am. I am like the only one in my friend group in my circle that's not a mom. So for her, she was kind of like a child to me, you know? I had to show up for her. I had to make sure she was fed. I had to make sure I got home at a reasonable hour from being out at all hours of the day and night, doing all the things. But I still had to show up because, you know, her life depended on me. So it was really just kind of figuring out who Amanda is and, you know, what now.
Mm. It sounds like a lot of grief. I mean, and grief comes in not just when someone dies, right? There's grief of loss. And so it sounds like you've had your fair share of loss. And especially in business, when you lose business or you lose teams or you lose income, you know, you've had to rebound from that. Give someone, because here's the thing, and it sucks to kind of say, but you're not unique, right?
Yep.
If you went through it, someone else is going through it. What would you, and knowing that you've gone through it now, if you had the opportunity to talk to Amanda 2, 3 years ago, what would you have told her?
Probably what you just said. Like, you're not alone. You're not this unique case. There's tons of other people that need what you bring to the table. You know, there's really just showing up as your authentic self. And I think in a world of AI generated, and I mean, let's be real, there's probably robots talking to us on the daily that we don't even know is or a robot. And I think that was just part of it, is just showing up. Like, have I pushed some people out the door? Maybe. Has that opened the same door for someone else that's meant for my life to walk in? Yeah. And I think a lot of that was just showing up. Like, people don't want to see life through the rose colored lens. Like, I have bad days. I don't sit and dwell on them like I used to, from like a victim, I won't say a victim mentality, but I mean, yeah, a place of I'm a victim, you know? Like, if you look at the dynamic of my family, like, I shouldn't be where I am right now. I mean, I'm in a beautiful home, brand new home, on several acres of land. And I mean, I should not be where I'm at today, and really just staying thankful. Like,
Mm.
if that's the only piece of advice I can tell you, is wake up and be thankful. Like, if you wake up and you don't want to live, do you have a roof over your head? Do you have food in your belly? Has food tripled the price? Maybe, but are you starving, you know? And if you're a mom, like, are you showing up for your kids? I mean, are you just simply showing up for them? Because, yeah, I mean, you can wake up every day and focus on all of the negatives, but some days I wake up and I'm like, thanks for the clean water, God. Like,
Yeah.
thanks for the sunshine. I mean, and it can be simple as that. A lot of times I feel like people try to overcomplicate the thankfulness of it. And it's like, it can be as little as, you know, thank you, God, for clothes. I mean, some days your mind is going to be as great as, you know, thanks God for this pond water. But some days it's like simple as the sun and my chickens and the life I have today that I didn't have, you know, 5, 6 years ago. So really just staying grateful and waking up with that mindset, because if you wake up that you're the victim and life sucks, your life is probably going to suck that day.
I gotta ask, do you name your chickens?
Yes.
I can't wait to hear that one. Oh, I got to hear these chicken stories. So, who inspires you now in today? Because I don't know about you, but people that inspire me, it changes, right? As you mature, you grow, you go through different lessons. And the people who I thought inspired me like 5 years ago are totally, there's some that stay, but I get inspired by different people. Who inspires you right now?
Like you said, I think it changes. This is gonna sound cliche. I'm kissing ass, but honestly, Donna, you
Aww.
did in like a really deep level at the event. You know, like I said, you either like it or leave it with me. And I felt like you and I had a weird eye to eye connection sitting in the hotel room. And I didn't vibe with everybody there, right? Like, we're all one team, one dream, but like some people, they're just, you know, not my tribe, not my vibe. Skylar, I commend her for showing up. She doesn't always, you know, talk about the really, really hard things, but, you know, her and I have had some deep conversations. And it's like, the people you see on social media that have been in this space for years, they still have hard days. They still wake up and don't want to make the content and, you know, don't want to do the things that it takes to be a business owner. And like you said, I mean, it's hard and it can be lonely here. it can be really lonely as the people that are like, get a real job. What are you doing? It's like, well, I'm sitting in the sunlight in my kitchen at 10 o'clock, whatever time it is on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, yeah, I'm inspired by you and Skylar. I mean, y'all are bold people. Barb's story shook me to the core. Really just this company. I know we're not going down that route, but this company and a community of people has really just pushed me to keep going. I might not be making $10,000 today, but I will be soon enough.
Let's talk about culture for a moment, because you shared a little bit that you were in a previous company where the culture was what you thought it was and it ended up being something different. Let's talk about, what do you look for in company culture, team culture, and why is that important to you? Like, some people say, don't give a damn what the culture is. They just want to know XYZ. Why does that make a difference to you? How did it make you feel in a company where you realized, okay, this is not my tribe, I need to go? And then the feeling of, oh, this is my tribe, this is where I need to stay. Why is that important to you?
Loyalty is probably the number one trait that I look for in friendships, in my relationships in general. And second behind that is your integrity. And in this space, which I know you've done a lot of things, but I have only really dabbled in the health and wellness, you have a lot of people, men and women, who are getting surgeries, they are taking a shot, they are doing a lot more than what they're claiming their single product does. And culture to me is just really, being truthful.
Yeah.
And accepting people for who they are. And I had to feel out the vibe first, because I'm not going to welcome someone. And I have made friends on the internet that I talk to almost like daily, that I could just see that they were loyal people who had character no matter the situation. So that's really just what I'm looking for. I don't want you to say you lost 100 pounds when you probably got a tummy tuck or were prescribed whatever else is out there. I don't know. But I'm not saying that some people don't need that, but don't lie and say that this one amazing product just, you lost 3,000 pounds. Like, you did?
Seems
I mean,
like
I just like
connection is real important to you. You like that real authentic connection, no BS, just a connection. And I get it. I get it. I think especially where you're living and everything else, you just want to know that you can count on certain people to do what they say and say what they do, and that's it. And if not, leave me the hell alone. I mean, yeah, I get that. That's the blessing and the curse of this industry, right? Is we're told to go talk to a bunch of people, but if I'm selective,
right.
in who I talk to. That's true. What advice would you give yourself? Let's say we talked about 5 years ago. Let's say you fast forward into the future, 5 years from now, and you are everything you expected to be, and you've reached all your goals. What would you yourself in the future tell you right now?
Probably just to keep showing up.
Boy, that's a consistent theme, isn't it?
Because, I think about the days that I sat in my bedroom floor with a gun to my head, and I wonder if I had just got out of bed or got out of my dark room. And at the time, I had blackout curtains. So, all times of the day, it was dark. And if I had just shown up, whether it was going outside for 5 minutes, whether it was drinking water, like basic necessities that you don't think about, just keep going. Really, that's all you can do is keep going. And I did a live about this the other day. I think you hopped on for a minute, and I was just like, you have to set goals that are attainable. And if you're in the business world or you've been in corporate America, a lot of leadership classes will teach you about SMART goals. So this is going to sound cliche, but like, don't tell yourself that you can lose 100 pounds in 5 days. If that's all you're looking at is the 100-pound weight loss goal or growing your hair, you're never going to reach that goal because you're not breaking it down into attainable goals. And so when I started really setting a why and setting a vision for my life looks like this today, my life looked like that 5 years ago, but where do I want it to be in 10 years ago? And I'm still young, right? So I have like 30, 50 long-term goals. And yeah, I mean, just keep showing up and pay attention to the quality of really everything. The friendships you keep, what you allow, the energy you allow into your home, your food, your products, whatever it is, your workouts, you know, show up and be mindful of your space.
That's huge. So you've said it a few times in the short amount of time we've spent today is keep showing up, be authentic, count on you, right? And just never quit, never give up. And boy, I tell you what, I think that's probably like an epidemic for new entrepreneurs that are starting. They get their first road bump and they just stop, but like they just quit. And that's what I love about your story is your resilience. And if you had one piece of advice, and you can't say don't give up, got to give them something else, what would it be?
One piece of advice. I've said this a lot too, but just stay thankful.
Hmm, that's
I
huge.
mean, really, truly, just stay thankful. You can only get $5 of gas that day. Stay thankful. You can only get ramen noodles for dinner. Stay thankful. Like, really, like being thankful is everything. Because I mean, I've been almost laid off for a year at this point. I've applied at probably 300 something jobs. And I should add that I'm not just like a newbie on the block, right? I have a bachelor's degree. I have 10 years of experience, 4 years of management experience. And it's very shocking, right? Because you put in all that work and then you're just like, well, what now?
Does it affect your self-esteem? You're thinking, wow, what's wrong with me? Because I bet a lot of entrepreneurs, and you're talking about even getting a job just to sustain, right? And there's an importance there. So I don't want to downgrade that at all. But I think that happens not only in today's environment of job hunting, but because I've been there. I mean, for me, I think it's my age. Who's going to hire a 55-year-old woman, right? But I almost guarantee people are just starting, and whether you're doing affiliate, e-com, network marketing, whatever it might be, you get those bumps in the road and it makes people pause and start questioning yourself. And is it me? It's like that old TikTok that was going around. Is it me? It can't be me. Is it really me? How do you overcome that? I mean, are you just constantly doing self-talk? Are you doing reading? Are you just talking? You have a good group of friends? Or is this something that you've had to like out of survival mode just to like pick yourself up because no one else is going to do it? Are you depending on others? What keeps you from showing up every day?
I mean, I could sit here and lie, right? But I have felt like the last year has been a lot of survival mode.
Mm,
My husband is great. I don't ever want to downgrade him. We serve a great God, but it's very hard to work as hard as I did because I mean, I didn't get a handout. You know what I mean? My dad is great. We have a great relationship, but we didn't always have a great relationship. And a lot of that was overcoming the fight or flight.
mm,
Like, okay, you got to know that's okay. You can keep going. And on those days when it's hard, I go to the gym. The days that you do not want to show up at the gym are the days that you need it the most. I have walked in the gym cussing. I have walked in the gym crying. I've picked up a weight and went back in the weight room and cried. And I should add that I'm not a crier. If I'm crying, you've made me really angry, or I'm angry at myself or life or whatever. And really being able to connect with people like you and others that, and there's several others that I've never met. Skylar and I were friends on Facebook for like 10 years before we ever met in person.
mm.
And I'm realizing that where I'm at in life does feel kind of alone. Because, like I said, I think I'm like one of two out of my little group of friends that is not a mom. And that can be challenging. But I am where I'm at because my goals are big and I'm dreaming big. And a lot of people are okay with the rat race. And I'm not. Um, you know, this past year has not been easy. Let's be real, it has not been easy. But the gym, my husband, I write a lot. I write a lot. I will fill up a whole journal page to page. Sometimes it's great things, sometimes it's full of rage. But for me, writing it out, stepping away, and going back to read it allows me to reprocess that. and reprocess those feelings and really validate myself and tell myself that it's okay to feel that way.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to just tuck it down because that's what society tells you to do. Now that also doesn't mean you can sit there and waller around in it and not do anything about it, but feel what you need to feel and let it go.
Process and then release.
And
Process
and a
and
lot
release.
of those
Yeah.
processes and releasings happen at the gym for me.
Mm.
I've hit PRs at the gym that people like my size, they're like, you can lift that. And I'm like, yeah, I can. Because when I go in just so full of rage or whatever, or even full of joy, I mean, people really downgrade their mindset. You can do, your body is going to hold you back quicker than your mind ever will. And vice versa. I mean, your mind is going to hold you back from everything if you don't, you know, like I tell people every day, wake up and say 3 things that you're thankful for.
That's great advice. I usually did that at night too. I go to bed with a grateful mind. Before you go to bed, you just think of laundry list of all the things you're grateful for, and then you just find your sleep is so much higher quality instead of going to bed pissed off or angry. And sometimes just in gratitude, you just start crying. I do anyway. I might be the only weirdo out there, but I do. It
Yeah.
happens to me. So tell people, I think you're amazing. First of all, I do. I think you're amazing. And
Thank you.
I think what I like most about you is your humbleness. I think that you have this tough, badass kind of exterior, but when you let people in, you're a ride or die and you're the real thing. And I appreciate that about you. I think that you've earned your scars. Unfortunately, you got more coming at you. And, I appreciate your journey and you're willing to talk about it. And that's why I asked you on here. I think you're amazing. And can't wait to see you. We're going to see each other in a couple of weeks, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Tell people how they can find you if you are looking to team up. I know, Amanda, you don't talk about our companies or our business. I try to refrain from company names, but you got to check out Barb Pitcock. She mentioned Skylar Lambert, Skylar Darling, depending on what mood she's in, she puts it up there. You can reach both of them. But Amanda, how can people find you, connect with you? What's the easiest, best way someone can reach out to you?
Probably Facebook. I'm dabbling in TikTok. I don't know what I'm doing on there, but yeah, I mean, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm on all of the things. And really my inbox is open. If you want to just message me and cuss me or cuss whoever, then let
it.
it out. A lot of people don't have a safe space, and
Love it.
I can be a
Love it.
safe
We'll make
space.
sure we tag all your socials in our description. And just thank you so much for being here and helping getting out real talk. Folks, you can't go wrong. I would make sure you reach out to Amanda, connect with her, and just start having those real conversations of your own. I mean, she was a pleasant surprise for me, and I know I am thrilled that she was a surprise for you as well. Thank you so much. Thank you for just participating. I appreciate you. I do.
Thank you for having me, and I'm really surprised that Rue did not talk. It was good.
Look at it too. Oh, so
But
cute.
yes, thanks for having me, Donna.
All right, we'll talk soon.